Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Here I want to explain about my thesis proposal. Before I'm going to explain about my thesis proposal, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Siti Fatimah Zuhrani. I am English Department of Hamzanwadi University, Selong. The title of my thesis proposal is Sorry, I Can't Speak English, a teacher contextual learning strategy for helping students recognize that speaking English is easy and they can do it. The first is Chapter 1, Introduction. Point A, Background of the study. In the Indonesian education system, English has become a required subject, Firdaus and Novita, 2023. The study of learning English has been established and studied from kindergarten through university. Whether they like it or not, they must accept it and grow from it. It is challenging because understanding English requires work because it's a foreign language to Indonesian. In one of the Pancor school dormitories, I also discovered a case. Here, people consider English to be quite challenging, both in terms of speaking and comprehension. Even though they study it frequently, it is still challenging to the point of disinterest. They frequently say things like, I can't speak English, English is very difficult. This is what motivated me to conduct this research in an effort to improve their perception of English and increase their willingness to learn it by helping them to like and be able to speak it in accordance with their skill and grade. Point B, focus of the study. The study focuses on the teacher's contextual learning strategy for helping students recognize that speaking English is easy and they can do it. Point C, purpose of the study. The first is to know the effectiveness of teacher contextual learning strategy for helping students recognize that speaking English is easy and they can do it. Second is to know the effect of using contextual teaching learning for helping students recognize that speaking English is easy. Point D, significance of the study. The first is for English teachers to enhance educators' ability to instruct students in reading by contextual teaching learning. Second is for students to help and encourage students to be able to speak English and recognize that English is easy so they can learn it. The next is Chapter 2, Review of Related Literature and Hypotheses. Point A, speaking. First is definition of speaking. Speaking skills are described as abilities that facilitate successful communication. Arini and Wahyudin, 2022. These abilities enable us to communicate verbally and in a way that the other person is able to comprehend. Second is the importance of speaking. Speaking is part of the important skill in learning English. Speaking is to say words early, to communicate by talking, to make a request, and to make a speech. Hollis, 2021. The next is the purpose of speaking. The ability to speak English is surely a goal for those who learn the language. Islam, 2022. The next is the ways of speaking. Getting beginners to speak is often not too difficult. Simple exercise and repeating phrases and dialogues are key. The last is component of speaking. According to Shakur, 2007, there are at least 5 components of speaking skill concerned with comprehension, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and fluency. Point B, contextual teaching and learning method. Contextual teaching and learning is an all-encompassing educational approach that aims to provide students with the knowledge, dynamic, and adaptable skills they need to actively construct their own understanding. Newton and Nation, 2020. It does this by helping students relate the material to the personal, social, and cultural context of their everyday lives. According to Blanchard, CTL strategies that may help to meet each learner's distinct needs include: first is emphasis problem solving, second is recognize the need for teaching and learning to occur in a variety of contexts, and the third is the student to monitor and direct their own learning so they become self-regulated learners. The fourth is ensure teaching in student diverse life context. The fifth is encourage students to learn from each other and together. And the last is employ authentic assessment. Point C, relevant study. The first is research by Durhik Mawatami 2022 entitled The Effectiveness of Contextual Teaching and Learning in Improving Student Reading Comprehension showed that there was a significant effect between the use of contextual learning. The second research by Alfa Zulani 2023 entitled The Effect of Contextual Teaching and Learning and Motivation Against the Understanding of ASKIA University Students in the Course of Basic Concept of Elementary Biology. The conclusion of the study is that there is an effect of CTL method and motivation on the understanding of ASKIA University students in the Basic Concept of Elementary Biology course. And the last research by Nadia Hanayati 2023 entitled Comparison between the Flipped Classroom Learning Model and Contextual Teaching and Learning in Improving Students Speaking English. The contextual teaching and learning model is more effective and fostering student growth in their oral communication skill. Point D, theoretical framework. Speaking is a highly valued talent among many individuals, particularly students, unlike 2020. Still, a lot of people avoid speaking English for a variety of reasons, including a lack of vocabulary and lack of practice. The main cause of this is lack of comprehension of the educational process at school, whether as a result interactional strategies of other factors. Joey and Primayana 2019. Thus, it is anticipated that contextual learning in speaking will enable kids to speak freely and become less embarrassed while expressing themselves in English. Naturally, using a contextual learning approach that works and gets closer and closer to the comprehension of the student. Point E, research question. The first is how the effectiveness of teacher contextual learning strategy for helping students recognize that speaking English is easy and they can do it. And the second is what is the effect of using contextual teacher learning for helping students recognize that speaking English is easy. Okay, the next is chapter 3, research methodology. The point A is research design. The descriptive and qualitative research methodologies are used in the study. According to Liu 2020, is a way of studying and comprehending the meaning that the individual or group attach to a social for human station. Point B, setting of the study. First is place. The research conducted at MTS Malimun NWI Pancor Dormitory. It is located at Jalan Jodnya number 77 Pancor Sanggeng, Selang, East Lombok. The second is time. Chapter 1, October until November. Chapter 2, November until December. And Chapter 3, at December. Point C, participant of the study. The participant of the study is all 15 students in the 7th grade of MTS Malimun NWI Pancor in dormitory who still beginner. D, data collection. First is observation. In this study, the research will take the data by observation to see the real condition in the school dormitory. This observation will be conducted to support the valid data. The result also use two kinds of observation, where the research will take picture and notes. Next is interview. The researcher will take more information by using interviews from the sample to know the student ability in speaking skill. And the last is classroom action. The contextual method will be used by researchers in an effort to go their level of learning. Point E, data analysis. Finding the significant and core of the number within the data itself is the goal of the data analysis. The qualitative analysis is conducted with the data by using an observation, interview, and the classroom action. Finding out how the teacher contextual speaking approach affects the student growth and outcome in the ultimate goal of this whole project. Following observation of teacher and student instructional setting, this took place during 10 to 15 minutes. The researcher will do the interview. To ensure the interview ran well and to expedite the review process, a mobile phone recording was used during the conversation. Okay, the last is references. This is my documentation when I visit at the dormitory of MTS Malimin in the Pancor. And I say thank you so much. Okay, that's all for my explanation about my thesis proposal. I do apologize of my mistake, and I say thank you so much. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.